Today's topic, Amanda Seales. If you haven't heard the news, Amanda Seales has decided to leave The Real. She's decided not to renew her contract. We have a contentious history with Amanda. We've covered some of her worst takes. We're pretty very keen on calling her out when she says dumb shit. But let's find out why she left The Real and why I think this is important for you guys to listen in on, all right?
And I've arrived because my contract is up at The Real and I did not renew it because it doesn't feel good to my soul to be at a place where I cannot speak to my people the way they need to be spoken to, and where the people who are speaking to me in disparaging ways are not being handled. I have gratitude every morning. I wake up with gratitude every morning that I found myself I've created a life for myself where I don't have to do things just for money, where I can be like, y'all can keep that out of here. But I think a lot of that has also come from like my own confidence that like I'll find the bread in a manner that serves me.
I got a lot of messages, people kind of expecting us to take like a victory lap, you know, people expecting us to kind of just laugh her on the way out. And the truth is, what I feel about her is irrelevant to whether or not I think this is a good thing. Amanda Seales, for all her faults, says what she thinks and what she feels. No matter how dumb I think it is, I want her to be able to express herself unapologetically. The same way I want every other voice to be able to express themselves unapologetically without filters.
Get it.
And then in the court of public opinion, we can criticize these ideas and debate them. And that's what healthy debate is for. Unfortunately, when you become part of a television show, everything does become edited. It goes through all these filters. We don't know 100% if that's who you are or if you're projecting your ideas accurately. And so we criticize you for them not knowing that. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be criticized for them, because at the end of the day, you signed up to be on that platform. You signed up for them to have control over this. And so you do suffer the consequences. But I prefer when people have their own platforms, or people can speak on platforms where they're uninhibited, so that if I am criticizing them, I know what's going on and I know it's not manipulated, editing.
If I fucked up, I fucked up.
There you go. So that's why I'm happy. At the end of the day, I'm always going to be happy when artists have the autonomy and the swaying power to be able to make those choices for themselves. This is in no way an endorsement of Amanda's character. This is no way an endorsement of what she says all the time, but it is endorsement of the idea that individuals are powerful. Our voices are what perpetuates and pushes these television shows forward. We don't need the networks. The networks need us. And anytime we can empower individual voices and authenticity, I will empower it. Even if it's authenticity I don't like, I don't give a shit. I want you to be able to say what you think undisturbed. So good for Amanda. I am glad that she's able to have her way in regards to this. And when it comes to The Real, y'all got to start changing your name. All right?
Yeah.
Because for all the faults that Amanda said, she was real. Sometimes real dumb, but still real. And the idea that you got her off the show because she was making some people upset and she was butting heads. Well, yeah, you guys said you wanted women of color who can discuss things and really have their talks between each other with like contrasting opinions. Don't get rid of one girl or push her out or create an environment that's not conducive to that very ethos. So I criticize the show. It's a bad look for them.
I just can't function in this place the same way. I can't. Because I know a lot of us do just for bread.
Yeah.
And there is a luxury in not having to do just for bread. That is a...
She's definitely right about that part. I have no disagreement with what she just said about not having to need bread, not having to do stuff you don't want to do. I say no to, even when I didn't have money or didn't have a lot of it, I said no to a lot of shit because I'm not in a rush to make money. But I do know people who will do shit that will compromise their values severely just for money.
And people will look at you strange.
Yeah.
People will look at you funny if you're like, I don't want to do that. People told me, yeah, but that's the game, Preach.
Yeah.
That's the game.
I've heard that so many times.
You have to do that. I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to do that. That's corny. I'm not going to participate in that show. Yo, but you got to do a lot, as much as you want, as much as you can, because that's the game. I'm like, yo, no.
But who says that's the game? And who made these rules? And who acts like these rules are always the same? Because I can assure you, the way we did it wasn't part of the game. but now we get to make and call our own shots when it comes to the table.
We didn't even come through the back door. We
kicked
we
Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah.
We came in right through the wall.
We saw that shit,
Nigga.
and we put a door. That door didn't even exist.
Before we go off, because I know we about to go.
We
off.
about to go
We
off.
need to give them context. So we're comedians, right? And when we were coming up and we were doing stand-up comedy, and we were at the open mics every time, there would be a lot of veteran comics who would see the YouTube videos and be like, "What are you guys doing? That's a waste of time. It's stupid. It's unfunny. Blah blah blah." Fast forward 4 years later, you know, we've done the largest comedy festival in the world. We've gone the big stage. We are now planning an international tour because of the fact that we invested in different avenues and we didn't follow the game. I wasn't necessarily gonna suck up to people in order to get to certain spots. I wasn't going to buddy up with people that I thought were morally reprehensible just so it could further my career. And I think that let me sleep well at night, but also pushed me to create my own avenue in order which I can grow from that. You feel what I'm saying? And so now today I'm watching these very same comedians struggling and still hard time work.
And I'm like,
and it makes me realize, and I'm like, the game isn't what you thought it was.
But
you were playing with one leg, and I was like, no, I got two legs. I'm gonna utilize both of them. So I don't like this idea that people say I'm gonna compromise my values because that's the rule of the games. No, you're compromising your values because you don't want to trailblaze a path for yourself. And I don't want to sound like arrogant and saying I trailblaze. Like it's not that.
Nothing to do with that.
But I do think there is something honorable about not compromising your values and finding a different way to get shit done rather than just saying it's the only way. That's all I want.
Oh, here, roll the dices. Bitch, I play with 3.
What does that mean?
I play with 3 dices.
Oh, okay. So they gave you 2?
I got 1. They gave me 1.
Yeah,
you got to play with that 1 dice. I'm like, I got 2 more dices.
Yeah.
I'm going to roll all the dices.
If I need a 6 to win,
Listen.
bitch, it's gonna be hard not to get it.
But what you look at? What you look at that? 18.
You went in big time.
What you look at that? You thought I would get a 6? I got 18.
Oh wait, so you're telling me you didn't just get an opening spot at the festival? You got the whole show?
Exactly what? And they thought, no, you have to get that show. You have to do it. I'm not playing that rule. I'm not playing that game. I'm
But
not.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my producer at The Real, one of my producers at The Real, my showrunner at The Real, we were talking when we were doing Ahmaud Arbery, like she was like, but his name, Adrian, say his name, and Adrian was like, Ahmaud Arbery, and she was like, right, yeah, I just can't pronounce his name. And I'm like, you can't pronounce Ahmaud Arbery?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in a space where I can, as a full Black woman, have my voice and my coworkers also have their voices, and where the people at the top are not respecting the necessity for Black voices to be at the top too.
She's genuine about it. I understand where she's coming from. I understand all that. I saw that coming. She signed up to the show. When she signed up to the show, it was like, Boo Boo Honey Chicken Cherry Child, you know damn well you don't fit in there. I'm not a fan of Eminem. I'm not a fan of, what's her name? I can't say her name.
Amanda
I'm
Seales.
just kidding.
Okay. Oh, I got it. Learn to say his name.
You need to learn now.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, you like Kiss from a Rose? Then you can say my name.
I'm not a fan of Amanda Seales. I'm not. But it's not because I'm not a fan of someone that everything that person does and say is bad. Now, that being said, the minute it was announced that she was part of that show, I was like, that shit's not gonna last. That's just not gonna last. Because she's too much out there, and she has, it's a show. It's very and already the show the way it is what it is. I'm not a fan of the show, but yeah, I understand where she's coming from. I understand, like, you get into situations sometimes where, I'm not talking about the business. You get into situations where you have to sign contracts and stuff like that, and you are your own person, but the way this shit work and the way it is set up, the way this thing work, it is not made to make you look in your best interests. You understand what I'm saying? It's not made for you. It's like you're still yourself, but you don't own anything. You're not the one that does none of that. The editing, the how you project yourself, how you look, and stuff like that. So unfortunately, me being part of the Abba and Preach thing, I've unfortunately became a fan of being able to edit your own shit. Because when you edit your own things, you have control 100% of the control of what you do and what you put out there. You took all your mom's clothes.
No, this one I got from an actual thrift shop.
You ripped the collar off.
Yeah. I had it removed. 'Cause I don't like really like long clothes. I hate that.
It was a long ass shit.
Yeah. Some of them are too much.
This is 70s shit, then.
I know. Yeah, this is old. Doesn't feel old.
Oh,
Nigga touch the fabric.
I see it. I see the fabric.
All right, cool. Anyways,
Polyester.
let's get to it.
And I'm like, you can't pronounce Ahmaud Arbery?
I heard that shit so many times.
What?
Over just because your name is not François or Jean-Michel or Emmanuel or Julie or Marie-Ève, things that are really common in here in French, right?
You feel like they don't make an effort?
I've heard that.
What?
I've heard that. I can't pronounce his name. And the name is not that complicated. I've heard that here. I've heard that in the States. I've heard like, yo, I can't pronounce his name. It's like, yo, it's Mamadou. Mamadou is like 2 times ma and do, which are actually French words. Like you can pronounce. I heard that before. I heard that. I heard people say that, and pretty high placed people in corporations, in jobs that I had, and they just like, yeah. People don't make an effort. If it don't sound like what you used to, they can't pronounce it. I heard that.
What do you think about that?
It's dumb. It's dumb. It's like, because I know there are some languages, because I'm a fan of languages, right? There are some languages and some accent that you're gonna say that are going to be really like it's intricate, right? Like there's some languages in Asia, right, where just the intonation means something else. I don't know if it's Thailand or I don't know if it's but if you say cow, I said 9 eggs, cow, and I said another shit, but it's technically the same word, right? It's the same word, but because your intonation is going to be different, I'm going to say a whole other shit. So when you talk and you don't have the proper intonation, it's the difference between a compliment and a fight. Okay? So I understand these countries sometimes, even like example, Arabic languages, where sometimes it can be intricate, because sometimes you're not gonna pronounce the words properly, and they're just not gonna understand what you're saying because it's literally something else. So yeah, I remember it was funny because I didn't know how to say girls. I was talking with one of my friends, and she's from Egypt, right? I was talking to her, and I was like, yo, this girl really looks good. She's Afghani. This Afghani girl really looks good. And she's like, what's her name? I'm thinking, I think her name is Fereshta. And I didn't pronounce this properly. And she's like, what's her name? And I repeated it like Fereshta or Fresh. I don't know how I said it, but it sounded Fereshta. That's what I said. And she's like, that means tablecloth. But for the Ghani, that was her name. That was a beautiful name, right? But for the other one, it was just something else. You understand what I'm saying? So depending on what you say, and I understand those languages, but there's some other shit that, Ahmaud Arbery, it's not hard, okay? Make an effort. And I've heard that discourse.
And I'm like, you can't pronounce Ahmaud Arbery. First of all, the word Arbery is actually it may not be spelled the same, but it is pronounced the name. It's a study of trees. It's literally like in the English language. So it's not even like it's like some other, and I'm like, you know what's not in the English language? Your last name that has 7 consonants lined up against each other. And yet we are able to pronounce that. So I am.
Well, we gifted. We got it. But yeah,
so I was basically like, you need to learn this now. Ahmaud Arbery. And she was like, Ahmaud Arbery. I'm like, figure it out. But the reason I bring that up is because it is so easy to let themselves off the hook.
That is pretty extra. You need to learn this now. I get it. I'm with you that it's kind of stupid that she can't say the name, but that's a little bit over the top. Are we in agreement?
Yeah, absolutely. But then again, Mendecios.
Yeah.
She's not doing anything outside of what I would expect her to do.
Yeah, so when people say she's difficult to work with, I can understand. Even
Yeah.
if I sympathize with her position, I'm like, yeah, you're not helping yourself. But anyways,